poking around until this thread is unwound. And though the nightmares abound, I'll keep on standing my ground. But as the clues all compound, I've near conclusively found I'm still asleep. I'm in my own little nightmare. It feels as real as it seems. I'm trapped with all of these frights here in my dreams. Below the floors of this horror, not much survives. Beneath the cover of shadow, the darkness lies. Beware, the nightmares will feed off your silent screams. Believe in nothing before you, it's just a dream. I know each answer I find is but a trick of the mind. And though my shadow is blind, it's always lurking behind. Yet every danger's designed to somehow serve to remind I'm still asleep. I'm in my own little nightmare, doomed to be swallowed up raw. There's no escaping my plight here in the mob. Time to restart the nightmare back again and again. Trapped in a daydream right where now's returning to them. Where will my nightmares take me? When will I be set free? What would it take to wake me from this dream? Starved and running on empty, but still I rise. Reborn back into this nightmare of fear and lies. The fall of hunger has clouded my weary mind. My will grows stronger than ever with each rewind. And I will push through the pain with but my heart and my brain until my demons are slain and no more nightmares remain. I might be sorely insane, but it seems perfectly plain I'm still asleep. I'm in my own little nightmare, a dream I'm doomed to repeat. I'm out of food and I know there's not to eat. I didn't come here to fight fair, just starve and die while you die. So face your own little nightmare, this is mine.
Wait. Who am I? I'm facing my own little nightmare. It's doing a comments live stream today.
I wish I had the
it's
green
Gordon.
binder or the green clipboard so that somebody could have like green screened it out so that you were holding something.
Oh, missed opportunity. Hey, everybody. Welcome to a comments live stream for My Own Little Nightmare, which was our first Little Nightmare song. We've done 2 of them now.
We have.
And they got a little bit more elaborate and a little closer to the game as we went. But we've pulled some comments today from My Own Little Nightmare, which came out back in 2017.
That sounds right.
It's been a lot of years. So there's going to be some pretty old comments, but also some newer ones. We just kind of went through and found some favorites. Before we get too far into this, though, I believe we have a moderator that we need to wish happy birthday to today. In fact, we're going to sing to our moderator. Neff Joe is turning I don't know how many years old, and that's okay. We're going to still sing happy birthday. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Neff and Joe. Happy birthday to you. All right, sorry, made that cringy for Neff. Please respect her on her birthday, especially. In fact, I hope you're wishing her a happy birthday in the chat. She deserves it.
I'm just glad this is on stream now, and anyone that wants a birthday message can just dub their own name into there.
That's right.
Happy birthday, dear Joseph. Happy birthday. So anyway, I don't know if Malcolm's here today or not.
He is.
He is.
Oh. Well, we're not going to sing happy birthday to Malcolm, even though he had his birthday last month. In fact, we probably didn't wish him that. We didn't sing to him because I think we said
No,
it was
we
going to be too
did.
cringy.
Yeah,
we did the Marilyn Monroe
We
one.
did the whole,
All right. You're
Mr.
right.
Meltonio.
That's right, we did do that. Okay, so anyway, please respect our moderators. They're very helpful, kind people. They do a lot for us.
Neff just said in the chat, which I forget every year, and she reminds me every year, this also marks her anniversary of finding random encounters.
That's
she found
right.
us on her birthday. So this is
That is so cool.
not only her birthday, but her 11th random encounters birthday.
That is incredible. That is super cool. So maybe one day we'll like make a calendar of like everybody's random encounters birthdays or something.
I hope you guys know you already gave her kind of a birthday present because this musical is one of her favorites. Not her like top favorite, but this is one that I'm sure she's very happy to sit and talk about on her birthday.
It's got a vibe to it. I was just thinking, you don't know when your random encounters birthday is, do you? Like, because you just got showed random encounters and you weren't really attached to it when you first saw it.
I mean, the first video I saw was Sing At You.
But not when it came out.
But
I
not
see.
when it came out. It was probably a couple months afterward.
That's funny.
So.
Neff knows her random encounters birthday, but Gwen on random encounters doesn't know her random encounters birthday. That's okay.
I know when I
That's
started
fine.
working with random encounters, it was like January 24th or something like that.
Alright.
So
Alright.
does that count? Can that be good?
Yeah. I'm not gonna bother like Nate's is too ambiguous because he worked on the
I predate
original.
random encounters.
All right, so let's get down to it. We got 10 comments that we pulled. Some are questions, some are otherwise. We're also gonna get questions from you guys in between, a little bit scattered in here. If we're not answering your question, it might be because it's one of the comments that we pulled as well.
Or if
so be
it's
patient.
not related to the musical.
That's true
That's
too.
right.
They have to be related to this musical, My Own Little Nightmare. So I'm gonna kick things off with comment number 10 from Isla. Just finished this game. Good job to Gwen for being able to play a psychotic cannibal who eats gnomes, rats, and people. Good job to Gwen.
Method acting.
Really nailed that part.
No.
Did you have to prepare for this role, Gwen?
Did I have to prepare for this role? No. That sounds bad. So I should say yes. Yes, I had to prepare. I had to
Everyone
really
says they have to
get
prepare.
into the mindset of
A
eating,
hungry child that
No.
eats.
This musical is actually, it's really funny to me to remember how we filmed it, because I literally remember like AJ talking to me and being like, okay, we're gonna have you come to this part, and I was like, okay, here's my like days that I'm off from work, you know, whatever day works for you. And then the next thing that I knew is I was getting a text from Peter who was like, okay, so you're gonna show up at this time on, I forget what day it was, and I was like, oh, I am? And he was like, do you know you're playing this role? And I was like, yes, I do know I'm playing this role, I just had no idea what day we were doing it. So there wasn't, I feel like, a lot of prep time. It just kind of
Yes.
like I stumbled into it, and then literally every shot filming this, AJ's like, okay, so now you're gonna do this, and I was like, I'm going to do that, and I have no idea why.
You know, she doesn't have a lot of reasoning. She's just curious. It's a lot actually like Frisk in our Determined to the End. I wanted to call it Fates of Undertale like 4 times. Yeah, Determined to the End. She's basically just poking around, or they're just poking around really. And I feel like this song kind of mirrors that of just like, oh, I'm in a place. How about I just go curiously check
I feel
this
like
out?
6
and do
is
that?
like trying to get out at least. Like
Yes.
has a goal.
Yes, there is an objective of being like, every time I wake back up, I realize, okay, something has to be done. I can't keep doing this forever. So
Yeah. I also feel like this is back in the day when I didn't have time to play the games, so I would literally watch GT Live play it.
there you go.
And
That's a good way to do it.
they would influence all of my character choices.
Did you know that 6 is actually the grandmother of Mono and a different timeline? What?
Well, thankfully,
They're
Mono didn't
Saiyans?
exist
Both
when
of
we
them are
made
Saiyans?
this.
All right.
Yep.
What do we got for number 9?
Number 9 from Kakashi Hataki. Sorry if I butchered that.
That was close enough.
The one thing you forgot is when you are dragging chairs, it takes 1 billion years because 6 in the game decides to be really weak and takes 10 billion years to drag a heckin' chair over to a door.
That's true. That's accurate. We did forget about that.
Well, in the game, it's because chairs are human-sized and 6 is tiny-sized.
That's true.
So
Sorry, we don't have a tiny size 6 in this one, so she goes a little faster. Though, I will say, I'm pretty sure we cut down how much of the chair dragging you actually see. Because Gwen dragged them further than that in some of these shots and took slower.
It's true.
And we sped some of this along.
You can't keep long shots like that in a music video that you're trying to keep brisk.
I was trying to remember. The original cut of this musical was much longer than the song, was it not? And it was because of shots like me dragging the chair.
Yes, the original cut of the song, or the music... The song was always, 5 minutes long, I can't remember. But yeah, laying out the footage for the musical, just of like everything we shot in order of what it's supposed to take place, it was like 9 minutes long, maybe 10.
Yes, and there was, I'm pretty sure, we had Gwen try dragging the chair like...
Yeah, I remember that.
And we were like, no, this is going to be so slow. We have to just take it and go. Just go. So there you go. I like getting up and being active on our sets. Sitting here feels like a punishment. I like getting up and doing things. Gwen, you get to do comment number 8.
I sure do. Comment number 8 from Melmon Smith. The funny part is this
Is that Melon Smith?
It's close. I was like, if we just take
Melon
out that
Gang
F.
confirmed?
The funny part is this is literally nothing like the real game, but it's a great rendition.
It is nothing like the real game. In fact, we played the real game here on Replayed, and it's nothing like the real game, which we knew going into it, or I knew it at least. Like, I think Nate and I had played through it a little bit.
Yeah, I played through it.
Yeah.
I feel like this was definitely a moment in time in Random Encounters where we were ambitious, but not quite to the level that we are now. Where it was like, we want to do this game. We want to make you feel a little bit like you're in the game. We're going to cover the entire garage in tinfoil. But we're not going to attempt to make anyone look tiny or... Like, literally, if you play this one back to back with the sequel that we made, the level that we were willing to go to try and get as close to the game as possible jumped up by like 10,000%.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that we still kept the feel and like the desperation and the moodiness and like that kind of thing from the game.
Yeah.
And I like that there's comments like this now, because I know when this first came out, there was a lot of like, this is nothing like that game, how dare you?
Yeah.
And so for it to turn now into like a much more pleasant
It's an
version
interesting
is
way
great.
to do the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I was just thinking about 2 again. I'm sure we mentioned back when we made that we were looking for as many bosses and stuff to put in, up to the point where we still, as ambitious as we were, couldn't film. There was a shot we wanted to do, filmed upside down. We were going to film the floor as the ceiling and have the doctor crawl across it. And we just ran out of time. It was literally, we couldn't finish the musical on time if we were going to try to do something elaborate like that and add like lights that were hanging, but they're actually just like stiff and propped up on the floor. And so, yeah, we still aren't able to do everything we want to, but we, I think, go 2 extra steps beyond what we used to. And what we used to, we thought was pretty ambitious, because there were other My Own Little Nightmare songs. There are
Not
other
My Own,
songs
this
out
is
there on
ours.
YouTube, but they used a lot of gameplay, for example, and trailers and stuff like that. And Random Encounters obviously has always believed, like, our role on the internet is, like, other people do that. We should be making the characters and the worlds come to life a little bit. This was the best we felt like we could do at the time, was, what if we do a puzzle room?
Yeah.
It captured the spirit, I think.
Kind of in that vein, Monica in the chat actually just asked, were there any shots for this musical that we wanted to put in but weren't able to?
Probably. I think we used all of the puzzles. They all got represented one way or another. We weren't willing to cut that hard.
Yeah, I don't think we cut any
been a long
puzzly stuff.
time.
I feel like everything that got cut was just longer versions of scenes or more detailed solving of puzzles or actions and stuff.
I think I know one. So she picks up kind of pieces of paper with cutouts in them, right?
Yes.
And those cutouts, like, that's an actual puzzle. It's designed to say different things if you put them in the wrong order.
Yeah.
We don't show that in the musical because we didn't have time to have her fumble through and try different messages. So I don't think you actually see anything other than cut the beard written down. Mm-hmm. But if you stack them in a different order, it ends up saying stuff like, look for red or things like that. Like, there are other phrases that can show up if you don't stack them correctly.
That's true. And I remember it being like a whole sequence of me and AJ just sitting there and him being like, okay, so shuffle the papers around and see what else you can spell. All right, now shuffle the papers around and see what else you can spell. And so like, we filmed every single version of what those papers could spell.
Yeah.
And it was probably like 5 to 10 of them. I don't remember. It was a bunch.
There were a handful of phrases, yeah. None of them, I think, were as good as Cut the Beard. So it's
No.
like,
I
if somebody
remember-
actually did it, unless they just fell on the first one and started looking to, like, oh, I've solved it.
I feel like there was one that was like she the something, like it wasn't good grammar, and I was like, well, they're all words, so that's what we're filming.
They're words, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best I can remember of like a puzzle that really doesn't get seen in its full, like. But for the most part, it was just like Gwen being hungry.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
more
Gwen being
more of the
hungry.
bread, yeah.
Many people in the chat have been asking about the knife that falls from the ceiling and whether that knife was real or whether it was a
Ooh.
fake rubber knife.
Yeah,
or
tell us
whether,
about that
like,
knife.
So yes, that knife was real. That knife was tied on a string, roughly measured to make sure that it could not hit me. Roughly.
I think it could. We could see it come down. The difference is you're standing in.
Yeah, it depends on which shot was being filmed, because I know there's several of them from a couple different angles to try and make it look as like, dramatic and exciting as possible. Some of them it could hit me on, some of them it couldn't. Some of them I wasn't even in the way when it fell, some of them so forth. But yes, that was definitely an interesting stunt to film, because there was 5 or 6 shots in a row of trying not to get stabbed, as a very real knife did come straight for my face all the time.
This is just really quickly. This is a common thread with filmmaking and Random Encounters too. Of you don't really respect that actors come on set and there's a game of trust. It's a huge trust exercise that you're being put in a precarious situation, but the people are watching out for you actually. But they're filming it like they're going to kill you. We did this to Jason Wells on Raven Books, really famously just a few months ago, where this poor guy had only been in one other Random Encounters project up to that date, and we had to chain him to a wall with a bunch
Actual
of
chains.
hooded cult people out in our garage with dim lights, take an actual knife and act like we're going to kill him with it. And it was a big trust exercise for him to being like, these people are actually crazy maniacs and they really are going to murder me. They're going to get away with it. They're going to kill me. And he was like, I'm going to trust that they're not maniacs and they won't kill me. And we didn't kill him. So Gwen had the same trust exercise a couple of years ago, earlier.
I was already dating AJ by that point. He had already started to talk about possibly getting married. I was pretty sure he didn't want me dead. I didn't have enough money for him to
Still
want
don't.
me dead.
Still don't. I like her.
Yeah.
Keep her alive as long as I can. However I can. Necromancy is on the table.
Awesome Destroyer followed up to the knife stunt by asking, was there any other stunts that could have been deadly in this musical? No. Pretty much it was just the knife. There was a bunch of falling, and I do remember my knees were horribly bruised by the end of this film shoot. The next day, I literally just looked like somebody had been beating on my knees. It was great, but nothing.
What's that new boyfriend of yours doing to you?
Well, thank goodness I worked a job where I had to wear long pants.
Oh, there you
Nobody
go.
really saw them except for me.
I wasn't a new boyfriend either. We've been dating for over a year.
I was gonna
so.
say, I was like, what are you doing? Wait, were we engaged by this? Am I
Yeah.
crazy?
I think we came back and were engaged and then did this.
Because this came out in November, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were engaged.
Unless we filmed it in October. I don't remember. Either way, should we snatch?
Yeah, you were engaged because you were writing the lyrics for this when we were in the Vegas convention, and that was around my birthday weekend.
Yeah.
And this came out the end of November, did it?
It must have.
But
Yikes.
I
Okay.
remember taking off my ring now for this. That was the first one I had to take my ring off for.
Okay. There you go. Timelines. This is comment number 7 from Mr. E in the morning. So did you guys commandeer an escape room that was already there, or go out of your way to make one yourselves? That would have been really handy if we could find a Little Nightmares escape room and just kind of take it over. We had to make one, and it was fun, actually. I think it was a really cool experience. I like making games. It's one of the, I wanted to be a game designer when I was little. And obviously that didn't pan out, but I've gotten to do it as part of videos and stuff now, so... were you working on the escape room at the same time, helping? Come up
I
with
don't
puzzles
think
and
I
stuff?
came up with any of those puzzles.
Okay.
Maybe I did. I don't have any memory of working on
They're
any
not
of them.
super elaborate.
I just know I put up a bunch of tinfoil.
That's right. You were on the
I was on wall tinfoil duty.
spaceship wall duty. Yeah. No, it would have been a lot faster if we just taken over an escape room. But the room downstairs for Friday's musical is a lot like an escape room as well, except it has no puzzles in it, sadly. But we keep saying It does. The castle for Castlevania.
I
looks-
just like the idea of it's a lot like an
All right,
escape room,
so
except it has no puzzles in it.
It's
So
an
I'm like,
enthusiastic,
it's a set then.
atmospheric set. It feels like there's supposed to be an escape room. It looks like you're gonna get locked in this castle and have to like go poking
Gotcha.
around the torches and stuff.
does.
Yeah, I actually would really love to do an escape room with something like that. But
Alrighty, where we go? Number 6 from Noha Koa. Noah Koa. I don't know if that's a name or a screen name. Anyway, they wanted to know: are you wearing any pants or shorts? Like in general?
Like,
In the musical.
I'm currently
Oh.
wearing pants. Yes, I am.
But in the
He's wearing
musical.
shorts. He's wearing shorts.
but in the musical,
In the
Yes.
this was literally like the number one question that I got for months. Are you wearing pants? Are you wearing pants right now?
funny how people are so curious about that.
Yes. So I was indeed wearing a pair of shorts underneath this raincoat. But of course, because 6, all you see is her wearing a raincoat, we did our best not to put any of the shots where you could see my shorts into the musical. Leading to everyone questioning, was I wearing pants? So,
Yeah.
So no.
Sorry,
The
it was
answer-
intentional. We
The answer
specifically
is no.
looked-
She was not wearing pants.
the character,
The character
is not wearing
any.
pants.
We assume. We don't actually. But we see before she puts the coat
But I'm
on.
making a like pants
Okay.
and shorts being different.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. But these, like, there's a lot of musicals I feel like I ended up actually wearing that particular pair of shorts for because they were short enough to hide under a
Yeah.
lot of other things. I was wearing it for Yandere. I was wearing them for
Doki Doki.
Doki Doki. Pretty much anything that had a short anything. These
Which
shorts
most video
came
game
out.
characters have a short something.
I mean,
Yes.
she wears shorts canonically, I think, obviously.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, we see her in Little Nightmares
You
2.
see her, yeah.
Yeah.
Because in Little Nightmares 2, she's got the shorts and like this weird grungy sweater thing. And
Yeah. In
Yeah.
fact, okay, so that's a question. Are those shorts what you're wearing on set of 2 to play
No.
her? Oh, okay.
They weren't long enough. They're not long enough shorts for me to feel comfortable making sure that you see them all the time.
Okay.
That's just a me thing. I don't like my shorts to be
My
that
legs!
short.
Yeah.
So no, I switched to a pair of like bike shorts that had like probably a good another 3 or 4 inches on them
Okay.
than the ones I wore
But
for
any
the first one.
shorts you
That's
can wear, you can wear shorter.
It's true. Are those the shortest shorts you've ever
Shortest shorts.
worn on Random Encounters?
Those
the-
are probably the. But weirdly,
Those are the shortest I've
they
worn.
didn't feel as short because they were also high waisted. So they
Sorry, we're
came-
talking about Better,
Yeah,
the
sorry,
Tomb
we just
Raider
switched. Obviously,
Uncharted song from
there's a short
February.
shorts joke in there because of the fact that Laura Croft has worn some very short shorts in the
Yes.
video games. They weirdly didn't feel as short to me because they were still they had so much waist to them. It
Oh,
wasn't like
interesting.
some shorts are like I'm wearing a belt and trying to pretend they're shorts.
Yeah,
And
okay.
some shorts are like, well, you can see a lot of my legs, but
But
for
they
some
just
reason I
ride
still
up
feel
higher. Okay.
covered. Like I don't know. It's
Gotcha.
a weird mental thing. It's a weird mental thing.
All right, sure. Well, there you go. The definitive truth is 6 has something on underneath it. We can tell from the musical that came after but takes place before.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about shorts.
We're at,
This
yeah,
one?
that one.
Yes. Number 5 from Pastel Bleu. With like a French spelling.
Blue, like cheese.
Finally, a Little Nightmare song that is not a rap.
There is a lot of rap out there on the internet, not just about Little Nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this a lot just because nerdcore seems to very much have leaned into a rap genre.
I think it's intended to be rap, as a like,
Maybe.
but unfortunately they don't come up with like. I'm trying to think what the other words are for like nerd music, like. They don't have like a nerd
Yeah.
pop thing, and I've actually like tried to coin that in the past with people. It'd be like, what is the like geek pop or something like that? And like people refuse to do it, and I don't know if it's because no one wants to write music like that. It's like us and like CG5 and like Try Hard Ninja and JT Music does sometimes, and the Stipendium really honestly does too. And just a lot of them also dabble with like rap and hip hop styles as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not, and I know I'm missing people. There's not as many people as I'd like getting as famous as I'd like for doing non-rap songs. And rap as a genre is fine. We've done some songs that have like rap or hip hop bits of it, or spoken word, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Little Nightmares, I know people would expect fewer raps and more like classical or
Yeah.
creepy songs because it's got like the music box vibe and stuff like that in the game. You don't see a lot of it.
Yeah, I think in general, Random Encounters likes filling that little niche corner of things where you're
Mm-hmm.
like, nobody else is doing our thing. We will do it harder.
Which is why there's a Castlevania musical that is like gothic electronica dance mix coming out Friday because no one was doing it and someone needed to do it.
Is that the first time you've told them the genre of
I
this
think
song?
so. I think so. We told you on replay a hint that it had something like bell bottoms and there was another like disco song.
Yeah.
Oh, Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
We'd said like a month ago that like we were working on a musical that had something in common with Ice Cream Man and the disco feel. And that's what it is there is a funny electric dance disco vibe to our Castlevania song coming out Friday.
Yeah.
I think you guys will appreciate it.
I'm personally very glad that we didn't do this one as a rap because
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have as much fun spitting bars or whatever. Like,
Yeah. It's a skill.
every once
but
in a
it's
while-
not my fun skill.
we do something that's like super rhythmic. Like, I did really enjoy doing 60 seconds. I
Fall
do
Catatonic
think
and this Atomic Catastrophe.
yes.
Yeah. Some of those
oh
are
my
fun
gosh,
to say.
that's great. Obviously, I know how incredibly fun like Smarter Than You is to try and keep up with, and obviously, I had a lot of fun with the bomb.
Keep talking.
Keep
and nobody
talking.
The
explains.
bomb.
The bomb.
I'm like, I'm sorry. Sometimes my mouth is connected to my brain, and sometimes it's not. But I don't want to do that all the time. It wouldn't be as much fun as all the different melodies and all the
Yeah.
different like. There are literally songs that AJ hands me sometimes where I'm just like, no. I'm gonna be singing this one on repeat, not even for work, because it's got a fun melody, and I just want to sing it all the time. And this one was one of my favorites for years and years and years and years and years. I think it only really got replaced in my head by the second Little Nightmares, because that one is just
They're different, but they're fun. They're both
delicious.
fun.
Yes.
This is all though making me wish so Netflix was supposedly working on. I assume that they still are.
I
Little
think
Nightmares
so.
like
Yeah,
movie or show or
They're
something.
working on a show, I think.
So now I want it to be stop motion animated and a musical
I believe it is stop motion.
Is it?
It's Henry Selick, the guy. who
Is
made
it?
for
I was
Christmas
just
is
wondering.
working on
I'm like, it could use a little bit like
It's either stop
Danny
motion
Elfman
or
music
it's
style.
like 3D animation made to look like stop motion. I don't know. I haven't heard
Okay.
anything about it in
Oh,
forever.
I wish we'd hear more about it because that sounds like delightful. And the idea of like, I do wish there are more internet channels that were willing to do that, like again, like the Tim Burton like musical like theater style, being like cute and creepy, but like talky and fun, but like there's a story and like I think it would actually lend itself really well to something like that. So, I'm sorry, we should get to more questions from the chat.
should. I just realized I accidentally copied like the entire
The entire
at some
chat.
point.
How about I just type the entire
That's
chat log?
fine.
Yikes.
All right,
I was
so more
looking
from you
because
guys.
somebody had asked. Oh, Blake the Ginger had asked Gwen, as this being your first solo musical number with RE, how hard of a song was it to record? And I remember this taking 2 days because I just couldn't do it all in one go. It's a long song. I'd never done it before. I just kind of came in being like, of course I know how to sing. Let me just do the things. And then was like, nope. Halfway through, I need a break. Let's do this a second day. It was very frustrating to me that I had to come back and do it on a second day because I was like, I would love to just barrel through this and just get it done. It's a fun song. I'm having a good time. Why can't we just keep going? And one of the things I know I struggle with a lot is I don't always hear the music exactly as how it's supposed to be. So I think I'm singing it correctly and I'm not. And that happened a lot on this song. And because I kept messing up, we kept singing for a long, long time. And singing takes muscles. You don't think about it taking muscles. It takes an incredible amount of control in your mouth, in your throat, in your lungs,
It
like
does.
everywhere. And you can't keep going singing at like your like top level singing for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. It's an unfortunate part of being human. So I remember being frustrated, but also having a great time. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's a great song. I'm glad it's my first one. I've learned a lot since then about how to record.
Do you remember the sections that gave you the trouble? Like
Oh
the
my
trouble, the
gosh.
trouble, the most
Okay.
trouble? Because I think I know which section you struggle with the most, and I think that's what we focused on the second day.
Yeah, I don't. I remember there being a whole section that we were like, that you had told me you wanted to go up high, and I took down low
Uh-huh.
because I just couldn't, at that point in time, hit it that high. I'm not sure if I can do it now.
I
But
so
what
I
section
remember
do you
all
remember?
of the like pre-chorus sections, the Da 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 da. Especially that da 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 when it goes back again.
Yes.
The flip flop between those, I think, gave you a ton of headache. It's like you had it in your head a very specific way, and it always went opposite of what you wanted to do.
Yep.
And I remember that section. I'm pretty sure that's what we came back on the second day. We're like, we're gonna like fight through this. We got to get this.
Yep.
But that might also be one that we were talking about originally doing.
Yes.
Like up, and we're like, it's way too high, especially on the key.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that definitely came down an octave.
But I like it. I think it's great down an octave. So I think what we did was the best way to do it, actually, which is really funny because it's not necessarily what I was thinking. But
Yeah, and that's not the last time that he was like, I want it to be up here, and I'm like, cool. Do you want me to sing it? Because it's gonna have to go way down.
we learned Gwen's voice actually hits better, I think, in a lower register. She's got a good lower voice, and she's got a good high voice too. But we definitely have had other things since. Where we're like, no, this sounds better down low.
I was gonna say, like just recently for Disgaea, I remember us being like, oh, this song would sound so good like up here.
Yeah.
And then just it doesn't come up with as much feeling from me. I have a much better time acting at a lower register than I can do at a higher register. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
You'd think I'd know her register enough to write the songs and have it like arranged that works better. Sometimes it's a little late to go changing everything, so we just go with it. Or the range is really wide, which is a problem with random encounters and musical theater in general. We tend to have wide range of singing.
From Jennifer Smith. Did Gwen know the answers to the puzzles beforehand, or did she actually have to solve them?
It would have taken a lot longer to film if she had to actually stop and solve each puzzle.
I think it's also, it looks in the musical as if so many things are like automatically triggered by what I'm doing. And the fact is that it was more like AJ being like, okay, so Gwen, you're gonna do this thing, and then I'm gonna shove this thing over so it looks like you solved it or whatever. And I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, that's
cheating. Bunch of cheaters.
I think
I was gonna say, if you want to see someone solve it, we had Devin come by and play the escape room.
That's right.
Yes.
Basically,
Because he already had a lot of experience with gaming and puzzles and stuff like that.
So-
And he was like totally down. We were like, Devin, do you want to come solve it? And he was like, do I? And like showed up. And we found out it didn't work as well, I think, that night as we expected it would.
No.
Especially because he could reach everything. We had to tell him on set, you can't reach that. That's too high for you. And he'd be like, no, it isn't. I can touch it. It's right.
Oh, it was great. I think the only puzzle that I actually like solved on set was the maze, and that's just because there's no way to cheat that.
Gwen, move it this way, then down, then over there. Though I was trying to remember if we have you go down any wrong directions or if we cut all of the wrong paths as well.
We cut it, I think, for
Okay.
time, but
Yeah,
I know
right.
we filmed me doing it several times where I was like,
Like,
oh no,
it's a
end.
mistake.
And I'm like, I know it's a dead
She
end.
did
I
the
can
maze
see it."
wrong.
Yeah. And what did I just delete? Because that was not.
Uh-oh. I'm going to steal
do
this while you find... Unless you want me to move on to the next one. Because I got a two-parter coming up.
Go for it.
You know it. Want me to just dive in? Here we go. This is comment number 4 from Ender Steve, who says this is a definitive classic. Also, how much bread did Gwen have to eat while filming? And before you answer, we had a guess from somebody named Unity Orbelm. Pieces of bread were harmed in the making of this film. Was it 150?
It was not 150.
More or less.
I think it was like 4 rolls to more and more pieces
Smaller
to make
and
it look
smaller.
like there was more and more bread.
And I say you didn't even have to eat most of the pieces. I feel like we just show you
No.
taking them, but I feel like we did watch you munching like just the roll at the beginning.
My memory is that literally one of the like first things we shot was, okay, Gwen, here's all the bread we have. All right, tear it into several pieces. All right, tear it again. Tear it again. Tear it again. We'll put those in different places in the musical. And so it was like all filmed in like the same like 3 minutes. And then like, okay, we needed just video footage of you eating it. So for like the next 3 minutes, it was like, okay, munch on some bread. Munch on some more bread. All right, take another bite. All right, and I swear I only ate like 1/4 of a roll.
Huh, all that bread, and you barely ate any of it.
I think so.
That's movie magic right there.
It was good.
I was like, were you sad? Would you like to have eaten more of it?
No, so
No, you didn't like our bread. You were starving.
what
Trapped in a room
what a
eating
lot
all
of
the
people
bread.
don't know about me is I'm not actually good friends with bread. Bread and I
Oh.
don't do well together in large
No,
quantities.
Brett and I are really good friends.
I know.
We love bread.
I don't eat pizza unless it's gluten free. I don't eat sandwiches with huge chunks of bread.
Pizza actually sounds really good right now.
All right, so
I'm so
pizza
sorry.
for this.
You're just naming all the things I want to go eat.
It's true. He really likes it all, but
Ooh.
I just
Starches, man.
It was actually
We
really
can
nice.
tell he really likes it all.
I love it.
It was a good thing for me. I didn't have to eat that much bread.
Fair enough. Nate, what are we on to? Number 3?
Number 3. That's right, from Liam Bell.
I have to go number 3.
Okay, that's both.
Oh, is it?
Anyway.
I guess you add them together. It's number 3. Sorry. What happened? Liam Bell.
Hi, honey. How'd you sleep?
It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those dreams you feel like you didn't sleep. You're like, I'm so tired. I just woke up and I am exhausted from sleeping. I hate those dreams.
See, this honestly just reminded me of the fact that I don't remember how or why we didn't film that late, so I don't remember why I was doing this. But I slept over here the night of the musical, and I, just remember waking up the next morning and like finding you and you being like, all right, we've got one more shot to film the musical. And we'd be like, what? I have one more shot to film? I don't remember there being another shot. What's going on? He's like, yeah, you don't have to get out of bed for it. And I was like, what is going on? And he was like, you just have to find the gnome in bed. No, that's fine. And so this was filmed, I believe I'm wearing my actual pajama pants and pajama top for this. And we just put the yellow sheet on. And I didn't have my glasses on yet that morning. So, like, I was just blindly like, okay, I'm finding a gnome. This is fun. Yay. And so, like, this comment makes me, like, I feel like it's actually what happened the next morning. You'd be like, hi, honey. Good morning. And I'm like,
I'm sorry. That seems rude. Like, staging waking up versus being, like, showing up with a camera in the morning and being like, all right, time for your close-up. That's funny.
It wasn't that rude. I was like, all right.
Talking about filming this, I just remembered that this is one of the only musicals we filmed on set without playback.
Yes.
I feel like it's really weird to do an entire song and be like, we never play the music. I don't think there's music playing in like any shot.
There's no music playing in the shot, but also this is the only musical that I remember ever filming before any lyrics were written.
Did we?
There were no,
we did.
There
Wow.
was no lyrics.
That's how
I
we
had
did
no
it. Yeah.
idea what in the world was being done for the song. We literally filmed this, I want to say, one of the like first couple weeks of November.
Yeah.
Then you guys went to the convention. Then I recorded
the
it like
song.
2 weeks later. And you were writing the lyrics 2 minutes before we went to record. You came down the stairs and were like, all right, here, I just finished them. And I was like, I've never seen these before in my life. Okay.
Get acquainted quickly.
Yeah, so
Wow.
definitely this one was a weird musical to film. No music on set, had no idea what the lyrics were going over the actions, had no, like, it was all wild.
Which is funny because I'm wondering if we edited it all to try to find things that matched at certain points. I can't remember any good examples now. Or if what we'd filmed inspired, when I was writing it to make sure to drop certain references.
Yeah.
Because I think there are like lines about like being hungry or starving or something that might line up with like food.
Yeah.
I wonder if we did a couple of those kind of things where we knew at certain points we were going to restart, and now is a good time to put in a shot of her like eating some of the bread or something.
I feel like that's why we had such a long cut too the first time, because it was like, how long's this
Yeah.
song? We don't know. We just filmed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, really not planned the way we like to play on. It's a little sloppy, but hey, it came together great. I think it's awesome how good
really
it turned
did.
out. For how little planning we actually, it's proof. Sometimes you can shoot from the hip and you go, we'll fix it in post. We'll make it work. And you can make it work. It's a good example of that.
Yep.
Determined to the End is a lot like that too, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. Because no one sings on that.
Number 2? We're on number 2?
Yes.
From Michael Fixidsis.
Fixidsis.
I don't think that's how it's pronounced, but that's what I'm going to say.
Sure.
This is how I'm going to access my spare house key.
If you hide your key in a room like this and then make people, you don't want people to find it. You want you to find it.
Yes.
You're gonna.
Okay, so I'm
That's a long time
imagining
to
the
get in your
situation where you need your spare house key. You have accidentally locked yourself out of your house. You are probably on your way somewhere else, or you're trying to get into your house for a specific reason, like something.
I gotta
And
use the
then
bathroom.
you're like, past me decided to play a really funny joke on me by making my spare key behind an escape room.
Oh.
Yikes.
Yeah, that would be.
Don't
You
do
only
that
do
to
it once. I think you
yourself.
do it once, and you'd be like, "All right, we're gonna put it like behind the plant or something,
Under a fake rock.
under the welcome mat.
Yeah.
Anything is better than this." I have to eat like 4 loaves of bread to make it through.
Chantal Lubbers asked in the chat, do you guys still have the gnome? And if so, where is he?
He's literally right behind us right now.
He's right there.
He's right here
He's
on
right
set,
there.
watching you this whole time. He's been here.
We definitely would never get rid of him. He's hung in our dining room off our chandelier for several years. I think he was last on a vent over my workstation.
I believe he's always been on the chandelier until we filmed something with the
I
chandelier.
think
Right.
anytime we...
And then he got moved to the vent over the desk, and then because of Castlevania, he got
he's
moved.
almost strong enough to pick this thing. Yeah, he's a really strong little guy. He's like, we can move the bell
So he's
here.
been on the fridge recently, I think.
Amy Yan also wanted to know what your favorite prop was from my Little Nightmare, and
No, he's almost in
he's
shot.
almost on screen.
He's almost in shot.
Leave him there.
All right. The gnome is peeking in on you guys. Stuck to our microphone stand now.
So what our
There you
favorite prop from this musical was, and the gnome is 100% my favorite prop. Like, the gnome literally was my friend. When I found out that I might have to eat him, I was very sad. Thankfully, I didn't have
I
to.
mean, the
because he's
gnome is
plastic,
like
but-
the only thing from that shoot that is like specifically that shoot and like only that shoot.
That's
Yeah.
true. He has
Everything
no...
else is like all multi-purpose, been in other stuff.
Yeah,
But I don't think we've ever used the gnome for anything else. He just has been chilling with us now.
yeah. We made a goal actually of using a bunch of the props from Little Nightmare, or my own Little Nightmare, in 2, so that you might get the sense that she's having a dream about what she's gone through in the past, and she populates it in this puzzle room with a bunch of the objects and props that she's actually encountered before. So therefore, stuff like this cage shows up in 2, where she gets the raincoat, but it's something that she ends up with in her dream as well. Which, by the way, I think that one is one of my favorites. Also, that lamp with the red, which it's too heavy. We couldn't put it here.
Yeah, it's too big.
It's way too heavy. But that lamp with the pipes and it has the red bulbs
I
glowing.
feel like we bought that for that.
We
I
did.
think we did.
And
Yeah.
we've used it a lot. Again, shows up in 2, I think, in the hospital section with the weird mannequins running by and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, really like that prop too. Do you have a...
Such a good creepy lamp.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite prop?
I mean, I like the gnome. I can't think of anything else that's more unique than the gnome.
Fair enough. What about Eisenstein?
Eisenstein's not a prop, he's an actor.
Oh, okay. I'm like, he gets little binoculars.
Treat him with respect.
Yo, those binoculars
Eisenstein's
are
the
always
best
fun
prop.
too. I feel like every time those binoculars get put
True.
to a musical, I'm like, hey, the binoculars are back.
Yeah, I could have put those on the shelf back here. Didn't think to do it. Or I'm
I
doing it.
think
I'm doing
that's you, Buck.
it. Yeah. Do you have there in the chat?
Before
that you
we
wanna-
go back, someone very early in the stream asked, is this the same jacket that was used in the sequel? The answer is no.
No. No.
This was a fun jacket in that it was literally just a raincoat bought off of the internet that showed up, I think, the morning that we were trying to film. And I took one look at it and was like, the defining feature of 6 in Little Nightmares is that big hood that like hides her whole face. And of course, that's just not a usual
Rain
thing.
jackets aren't made like that in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I asked AJ, like, literally, it came in the mail. We were getting ready to film, and I was like, is there any chance I can have like 10 minutes to try and make this hood look bigger? And I slashed off the bottom of the raincoat. We were going to do anything to make it look a little bit shorter. And I just fit it around the edge of the hood and hot glued it on. Which hot glue does not work on raincoats. Pro tip. So there are several shots in the bloopers where you can see like the hood starting to come undone, and I had to like redo it at lunchtime.
Hot
It
glue
was-
proof? Hot glue rain proof?
I'm hoping hot glue does
terrible.
not fall from the sky. That sounds awful.
It does. But when we went to do the second one, we were of course like, no, there's no way we're using the same raincoat. It was terrible to try and work with. It looked good enough on set, but we can do better.
I don't even think we had it.
Yeah, I think we
just
threw it out shortly after filming when we said, okay, we're not going to make another like video for this game. So they hadn't announced they're doing a sequel, I think, still. And we were like, it's garbage. It's garbage. We hate it. It's garbage.
I seem
It
to
went in the
remember
garbage.
throwing it out only like a month or two before we filmed
Really?
the second one.
It's possible it made its way into the costume closet, as all things do that
We
Yeah.
keep
should
some
probably
things,
trash.
We keep a whole like set of 4 repairs costumes, which are definitely in line to be repaired. I can
right.
tell you, there's a Meowth costume in there right now. I think Benjamin the Fox's hoodie is.
Yeah.
I just spat because I was.
I believe the Meow
so disgusted
costume is
by it.
actually not for repairs. It's for a TikTok.
Oh,
And then to be tossed out because we have a puppet now.
That's true, and the
True.
puppet is really, really good for Meow. He's over here
So.
just watching us off set too. Yeah, so I think maybe that's where the raincoat ended up. Is like it's gonna need serious work if we're ever gonna use it again, and it just sat there indefinitely.
Yeah, and instead, I made a whole new raincoat, which there's a whole video on Random Encounters if you want to see how I made the raincoat and what all went into making a good, durable, can film multiple days in a row raincoat, which is really good because that's what we ended up doing for the second one.
I feel like that it's not even a raincoat though.
It is not. It will not keep you.
Yeah, it will not keep you out of the rain.
No,
It will keep you
not
warm
practical.
though. It's very snug.
I was thinking, because I almost grabbed it for somebody to wear, and I was like, oh, this is so heavy. No one wants to wear this in front of the lights here for an hour. Let's not do that.
It was really nice though because we filmed like outside on so many shots. And I
did.
was like, I'm cozy.
Yeah, you stayed warm with that. I just thought of another costume that I don't even think we can repair. I think it should just be chucked out, and it's Captain Falcon's jacket. And it makes me really sad because it was a really cool jacket. It's got Markiplier's sweat in it, and I'm like, but this thing is falling apart. It's amazing. No one's done anything with it. It just wasn't made, I think, to like survive. It's a sweat. It's melting through the jacket.
Confirmed. Has
Corrosive.
acid sweat.
Now you know. Don't let Markiplier wear your clothing, or else it's gonna fall apart. The FNAF security jacket's held up just fine though. So, do you want me to
Read the next comment. Yeah.
read the next comment before I slander Markiplier and his sweat any further? Poor Mark. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry. This is our number one comment from Haley Moore. Plot twist. She is trapped in the neighbor's basement. The room she's stuck in has the neighbor's door. Also, Granny's door. Granny is the neighbor, confirmed.
Oh no! But we know it's in the neighbor's basement. It's an illegal poker game.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't see that. But there were chips. They do have poker chips in that, you know? I don't know. You know, until Matt Pat does this theory, or one of you guys, I don't know. I could be swayed. Might be possible.
It's just a theory.
It's just a theory. Maybe we should leave it up to the chat.
Sure. I love leaving things up to the chat.
Maybe the chat has to decide for us. Is this the neighbor's basement? Granny's basement? Neither of the above. Team Rocket has that door too, right?
Team Rocket's hideout has that door.
Yeah,
The number of places we used that door because it was a really cool looking door.
it was.
Not anymore.
Door didn't survive.
What did we break it on? What was its
I don't
last
think-
hurrah?
FNAF.
I think FNAF
Web
was
of
Yeah,
Lies. It
Web
gets
of
kicked
Lies.
over.
Yeah, well, it was already like we should throw this out because it's falling apart. So
And we were
Web
like,
of
let's
Lies was
kick
like,
it
all right,
over.
this is where we're throwing it away.
Yeah, this
afterwards.
door gets destroyed today.
Layman Knight says that it's Dathan's basement.
Dathan's basement. All right.
Good on you for knowing Dathan.
Dathan, responsible for that basement.
We have a bonus comment. Shall
We
I
sure
read
do.
this
bonus.
bonus comment?
It's October. We have to call it a bonus cop.
A bonus comment.
It's like the beard, also a ghost.
Okay, it's from Lila Herman. She protect, she attack, but most importantly, she waste her money on food for a snack.
Oh, waste her money on food for a snack. No.
All right. Time for my next TED Talk about snacks. There's no such thing as wasting your money on
On a
snacks.
snack.
That's not true. You could buy something and be like, this tastes like trash. Why did I waste my money on this?
As something of a snack, I take offense to this, and I think Gwen wastes money on me all the time.
Like I said, there's no such thing as wasting money on a snack.
Do you have a favorite snack, since we're talking about them?
Favorite snacks?
Yeah.
Um,
Something that, like, you're just like, ooh, every time you see it, and you're like, ooh. You turn to the beard, ooh! Marshmallows are his favorite snack.
cake donuts, like chocolate cake donuts, I will never get tired of.
I would say
They're
about those
just-
little donuts actually are a really good snack, too.
They
Like,
are
just the little, like, chocolate covered
Those
ones.
just,
You just open a
donuts in
bag.
general. Donuts are yummy.
Donuts are, yeah. Okay, so I was at the Cloak FNAF event last week to meet some of you guys. And it was very good to meet some of you guys, by the way. And we got talking at some point about donuts because we had a number of people from the UK over there. And we were talking about, like, what they expected from donuts here because I know some of them were interested in, like, trying Dunkin' Donuts for the first time and
I'm
stuff
sorry.
like that.
You have donuts in the UK, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay,
They do.
I was about to-
They do. I'm sure they're a little different, but... And I was pushing hard for Krispy Kreme as like you can skip Dunkin'. I'm sorry, I'm going to start a flame war here, but you can skip Dunkin'. If you're here for donuts, go to Krispy Kreme. And then I realized that Krispy Kreme has confectionery donuts versus like breakfast donuts. Dunkin' has more of the breakfast donut thing. It's like more like a bready bagel or something. Like Krispy Kreme are like, these are like, it's ice cream in a bread form. It's an actual cake.
They're just so light
So,
and fluffy and
depends
light.
what you want from your donut.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the coffee, though, Dunkin'.
I did
I believe
mention
that.
that
Don't get Krispy
Dunkin',
Kreme's coffee.
yeah, Dunkin' wrecks Krispy Kreme when it comes to coffee, from what I've been told. So.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't drink it, but that's what I hear about it. The
Anyway.
legends say. Yeah, that was all of our comments that we pulled from the
Right.
musical. Do we have anybody that we want
We
to...
are very close to the end of our hour, so we're gonna
Okay.
answer as many of these ones I think as quickly as we can.
Single word answers.
Single word. I don't.
All right, let's
good
go.
luck.
Single word answer.
Monica wanted to know what our favorite part of filming this musical was.
Falling.
Definitely the falling. Definitely.
Sarcasm.
I don't think there was a standout moment on this one for me. I don't think there was like that scene. It was generally a really good fun day.
The poker shots. I really like those. They came out really good. I liked having a game with the poker chips.
I take it back. AJ letting me light something on fire. That was my favorite part.
That was cool. And the maze itself, I still think was really cool. Like, it was a pain in the butt to build, and you'll notice it's built out of those little styrofoam bricks that we had left over from Pac-Man the Musical, made like 6 years earlier. So, like, that was a throwback prop. It was a little janky, and it did get thrown out at the end. But getting to make something like that, like, it took a lot of work, and yet I really liked that, use. As the gnome in it.
Layman Knight wants to know who came up with all the puzzles of this escape room and how long did it take?
It sounds like I came up with them.
Probably.
Some of them aren't that smart.
I'm
so-
pretty sure I made the maze. I think I was told to make a maze.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure
I remember we sawed through.
put
It
them
was,
in that.
It was like a medicine cabinet kind of thing. Had little shelves and
Yeah,
stuff.
we
right?
had
Made,
to like create
chop
the
it.
opening for
Or a
it.
curiosity thing, maybe. You're supposed to mount on the wall and just like put little
Yeah,
knickknacks
I
in each of the
don't
compartments.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a headache. But yeah, I think you glued together the bricks, right?
bricks,
and
yeah.
designed it as a maze. So that puzzle would have been technically Nate, in charge of it. It's not like I handed him like, here's a maze, recreate it.
Shy Guy 741 wants to know how we made the music. Is it digitally made or do we have a group of musicians? We indeed have tiny musicians that just wait in the background of
He's
every
right here.
musical.
Oh, I can't
Little
reach him.
musicians.
No, all of our songs generally are made completely with virtual instruments, which are, in fact, at this point, they're instrument samples created and recorded by musicians. In fact, I think our friend Jules, who does guitar on some songs for us, I think we had some of his guitar samples because he worked with one of those companies recording before we'd even met him. So it was really funny to meet him in person and then be like, I think you've been playing in a couple of our songs because we bought this instrument pack and turns out you recorded for them. But yeah, for the most part, almost every instrument is digital. It's something that's been created by a recording studio someplace and then just offered out for you to be able to change pitches and velocity and stuff like that.
I Have a Name wants to know where we got all the props / how long it took to make them all, to get them all. We didn't make it.
I feel like most of these props we already had.
You mentioned a couple though that
A lot of them we had.
to buy.
Yeah, like obviously the red lamp we bought.
which is like 5 minutes away at the hobby store.
Yeah, I
easy
feel
enough.
like the cabinet thing that the lady was the picture of the ladies in, I think was just like a Goodwill find along with the maze that the gnome was in. The poker chips we already had.
Yeah.
The knife we already had.
Yeah, we did some Goodwill shopping, I think, and some Salvation Army shopping
Yeah.
and stuff like so. Thrift stores. Again, we did spend some money at the hobby store to get things like the nice lamp or some other industrial looking thing.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
that clock is part of it.
Yeah, I think the clock
I think
lamp.
this thing is part of it actually.
Yeah.
I think this one is. And again, we've gotten a lot.
I think
of
the
use out of
bell
this
is
thing,
part of it
Yeah,
too,
we have.
because I think we
That looks like
specifically
a
uh,
were.
cheese grater to me.
Doesn't it? It looks like a huge, scary cheese grater. It's a little
Yeah.
rough. I wouldn't want to be dragged across it too much, but.
Yeah.
And it opens, so you can put your apple inside, and then you're supposed to be able to. There we go.
Put your
Ooh,
apple
it's got
right
something
there
else in
and-
it. What is in it?
Flowers?
Yeah, I think
We
it's been
must have put some-
outside. It's got blossoms in there or something.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
anyway, we're discovering that we need to clean our props better.
Adds character.
There you go.
Holly McCallum wants to know, did anything get broken on set by accident?
Ooh, good question.
The only things I remember are the hood on the coat coming apart all the time, and the gnome's magnets kept coming off because they were like hot glued on basically, and then the magnets kept like tearing out of the hot glue because they're pretty strong magnets. But that was easy to fix with just more hot glue.
Yeah, because the keys I think had. Oh no, the keys are just magnets. So
Yeah.
no, I don't remember anything else really breaking either.
I wasn't there. I was literally not on this set.
I was gonna
That's
say
true.
this was
They-
mostly just me and AJ in the garage. I think Peter started out on set and then was like, we're not running playback and you don't need extra
do you
hands
need
for
me? We're
things.
like, no,
And
probably
so
not.
he went home early.
So I think this might be one of the times we broke the door on one of the cabinets. I'm trying to remember if one of those doors was coming off.
You're talking about the one with the lady in it?
No.
No?
You're talking about the one that we turned into a TV for.
Yes, I am.
That door had been broken for a long time. I
Okay.
feel like.
Well, I definitely remember having some problems with it, getting
Yeah,
it to like
true.
fit back in.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
think it was.
So I think
kind
we
of on its way
exacerbated
out.
it. Yeah, but that is another good example of like one of those pieces of furniture actually becomes the TV set that we see several times during 2, and kind of unintentional. I don't think it's like she like turned one of them into another one, but it's funny that it's another prop that got repurposed for 2 into a completely different prop actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scarlet Feisty wants to know what made us think of doing this as an escape room.
Good question. I think just because it was, we knew there were some puzzles in the game, nothing super elaborate, but some, and there was a lot of exploration in the game and some danger, or at least perceived danger, and I think those things all go hand in hand with an escape room. So we said, here's an idea we could do. We could basically do a song that's just telling little bits of the story of like emotions and stuff, and make it about somebody trying to escape this one room of the maw, and they have to like go through some of these weird things and creepy stuff, and they're starving to death, so there's like stakes. I think it just kind of organically came together from going, we can only do one room of the maw. What should we do to pass the time in it and like make it hard to get out of? Obviously. It would have been really easy if just she's too short and has to like build a tower of things or something. But it sounded more exciting to like change which objects and stuff that were going to be in use.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. We are at the bottom of our hour. We have one more question.
Okay, here we go.
Reese de Guzman wants to know,
Hi, Reese.
if you could, would you want to remake My Own Little Nightmare with monsters like the janitor, the chef, the lady, that kind of stuff, to be more like the game? So if we had the time, the opportunity, would we want to do that, or do we want to just...
No.
Why not, Nate? Explain.
Because we did that for 2, and it was a nightmare of a shoot. It was a lot of work and a lot of green screens, and we don't even have like the hunter was pretty easy, but like just puppeteering just the neck and the head of the creepy teacher was like a pain in the neck. It was a pain in the neck.
If we could hire someone who knew how to do green screen stuff really, really well, who was excited
The stipendium,
to do all
help
that,
us.
and if we could
Watch the
hire
stipendium signal.
like a team of like 20 more people to be extra hands on set, to like do all the different puppeteering and moving and stuff, so that like we just had to come up with what the shots we wanted were and like fund it. Maybe.
That's a lot of like...
I'm like, the lady is the only villain in that game that's like easy to create because
That's
she
true.
does not.
Yeah, somebody said the fighter with just the pool noodles.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to counter everybody else and say, yes, I would love to. Because I am, as much as I like that we made My Own Little Nightmare, the whole point of us up for things that we didn't do that would have been cool to do with My Own Little Nightmare. So what you're asking is, like, essentially proven, yes, we did.
The game was popular and we wanted the clicks.
That certainly added to it, but we could have done the exact same thing. We
It's
could have
true,
made it
yeah.
without doing
Exactly,
the fact
yeah.
that we were like, how about we stretch a neck out of a teacher lady? How about we come out of a TV set? How about we do this crazy jump off of a thing and fall to our deaths in slow motion? Like,
That's right.
we went above and above and above as many times as we could, all the way up to, again, getting to the point of trying to do the doctor crawling around on the ceiling and comping us in on green screen to look like we're upside down or he's upside down or who's upside down in this shot. We were trying to do all these things because we wanted to. It wasn't like, it'll do better. The video will get more views. YouTube will share it more times if you get the doc. YouTube doesn't care. They're already going to share somebody who takes. I want to make the version where he crawls across the ceiling. So, yes, in truth, there is no good explanation except for I just want it to look a certain way by the end. I would have loved to do the janitor with, like, the creep to be, like, buffer out of existence.
So what happens when you go over?
All right.
Apparently.
I blame YouTube.
Neff killed the internet. She has to go for her birthday. It's time for Neff's birthday. We're getting cut off here. We're going to find out if any of that bears worth repeating. Probably not. It's the usual. Wow, I can see it like just
It's going horribly.
stuttering.
Okay,
YouTube.
so
YouTube.
hopefully
Internet, whoever it is.
all of the ending part there will be in the archive. If not, just imagine we said something really, really
Witty,
deep,
clever,
witty,
and funny.
the best end of a stream we've ever done.
There you go.
But we're going to sign off. We're going to go get AJ some, I don't know whether you're on to donuts or pizza.
Both. Donut pizza. What is a pizza except a donut that's been filled in and has stuff on it? Hey, just a reminder. Friday at noon, you get a new musical. And I know you've been waiting for something a little more spooky. There's a lot of horror fans. This one's not going to be particularly spooky. But it's based on a game that has a lot of horror legacy to it. So
And it's just
fun.
The song is fun. The acting is really great to watch.
It has monster
There's-
movie vibes.
I think you're going to have a really good time. So show
Yeah.
up on Friday. We'll be at the premiere. I'll be hanging out in the comments for a lot of the day after that.
Yes.
And we're going to have a good time.
We'll be playing the game at 5.
We will be playing the
and there will
game
be
at 5.
bloopers for it the week after over on RE Extra. So anyway, I hope to see you guys at the premiere. I think it's going to be a blast. And I think it's going to be stuck in your heads. In fact, the song I am putting finishing touches on, it'll probably be up early. So those of you that like to spoil yourselves a little bit, you're going to spoil yourselves if you listen to it. But go enjoy it if you so choose to. And we'll see you guys on Friday. Beard salute!